It is actually very difficult to try and sum up, to try and explain what we have seen this weekend, what we have seen in this Grand Prix, to not just have joint leaders, seemingly 2 tickets going to Prague, 2 golden tickets for the Super Grand Prix. And all of a sudden now, Sanne Thijssen, the 3rd youngest winner ever of an Lgct Grand Prix winner, stealing that ticket back from both Zanotelli and from Kenny. And she will be the one going to Prague for the Super Grand Prix. Let's go back to Madrid. Sanne Thijssen, your winner, stands by and chats to GCTV.
Sanne, we can't stop smiling for you. Tell us what it means to win the Lgct Grand Prix here in Madrid.
This feeling is, you can't even put words on it. I can't even speak at the moment. I can't breathe at the moment. But my horse did such an amazing job, and everything came out after the last fence. I was screaming like, this is great.
This is a horse of a lifetime, the biggest win of your career. What were the emotions going through your head to that last fence?
I thought to the last fence already that was a bit on time, so I want to take the last fence a little bit safe. I did, and Podium was concentrated like 100%, and he finished his job, and then it was an amazing feeling after the finish.
How does it feel to be in that select group of riders going to Prague?
Yeah, unbelievable what I said. There's so many really good riders here, and to win of these good riders, that's unbelievable.
And what are your thoughts here on the entire Grand Prix? The jump off, the crowd?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable show, I must say. There's so many people here, as you can see. Thanks all. They are amazing. Also, after the finish, they were screaming like hell, even I'm not Spanish. So it's unbelievable. It's really nice, and the atmosphere is top here.
Well, we can see you're quite emotional. You're living the dream. Go enjoy it.
Yes, thanks.
Sanne Thijssen speaking to Floss Bish-Jones, and understandably the 23-year-old lost for words the biggest victory of her career after finishing 2nd behind Daniel Deusser in the Lgct Grand Prix of Valkenswaard last year. Now goes one step further, now picks up the biggest win of her career, now gets herself a golden ticket to the Lgct Super Grand Prix in Prague. What a performance from Sanne Thijssen, and what heartbreak for Derek Kenny, Malon Zanotelli, and let's not forget Katrien Akkerman, who seemed to be so close to a 4th podium out of 5 Lgct Grand Prix. But it is not to be, because tonight is the night of Podium. Tonight is the night of Sanne Thijssen, the 3rd youngest winner ever of an Lgct Grand Prix, and we're witnessing it all here on GCTV. I can tell you as well, by the way, for the first time tonight, you will hear that Lgbt does still lead the overall championship standings, but it is by just a single point, following a 4th place from Katrien Akkerman, who now moves up but just a single point behind Ludger Beerbam. 99 for Beerbam, 98 for Akkerman. Michael Duffy stays in 3rd. Gilles Thomas stays in 4th. But back to live images, appreciation from the Madridistas here in the crowd. Heartbreak for Malon Zanotelli, who tries his best to put a smile on his face. What a performance from him and VDL Edgar today. And Derek Kenny as well, looking absolutely gutted. Alongside him and Cartello, 39.91. I need Frederick de Backer to tell me if there has ever been an occasion before where towards the end of a jump-off we've had 2 riders on exactly the same time. Not a fraction more or a fraction less. Both men, Derek Kenny and Malon Zanotelli, stopping the clock on a double clear at 39.91. But it did not matter, because this incredible pairing of Podium and Sanne Thijssen was better than both of these senior riders, stopping the clock at 39.15 to go on and finish first. Let's join the podium as the 3 best finishers, tied for 2nd, Kenny and Zanotelli, make their way up onto the podium.
Put your hands together. Malon Zanotelli, Brazil, also 2nd.
Y ahí está, señoras y señores, la ganadora del Gran Premio. 23 años tiene. El aplauso de Madrid para Sanne Thijssen.
Your Longines Global Champions to a Grand Prix champion of 2022, Sanne Thijssen, the Netherlands.
haciendo historia en Madrid, a punto de ganar ya una vez, logró la victoria en el Club de Campo Villa de Madrid y en honor de ella, en honor de la ganadora, suenan a continuación las notas del himno nacional de Países Bajos. Himno nacional de Países Bajos para la ganadora Tyson, que montó a Podium y que va a recibir a continuación el trofeo que dona precisamente.
Wilhelmus, the proud national anthem of the Netherlands, being played in the city centre of Madrid today as Sanne Thijssen, this outstandingly talented and exciting young rider, has gone on to end one of the most outrageous Lgct Grand Prix you will see. And no, the podium is not broken. No, there is not a problem with the third place, why it is vacant, and both Malon Zanatelli and Dara Kenny are on one podium together. It is because both men stopped the clock at exactly the same time to share second place and both be on the right-hand side of Sanne Thijssen. She has received her trophy, now will receive her beautiful Longines watch. And what a night this will be for the 23-year-old. Second in Valkenswaard last year, losing out only to Daniel Deusser, the world #1 at the time. And now, almost a year later, being able to go one step better and win tonight and go on to get her ticket to the Super Grand Prix later on this year in Prague as well. Let's not forget very strong performances from Jodie Hall-McAteer and Salt and Pepper, double clear. Katrien Ackerman, double clear on Kalamandia. And she, by the way, now closes the gap between herself and Ludger Bedebaum to just a single point on the overall championship standings. And Loli Mitilineo as well on Latiste, stopping the clock at 44.07, but still jumping double clear. What an exciting young talent for the future as well. Loads and loads of exciting young talented riders on display on GCTV this weekend as the dignitaries make their way to the podium. The applause and the photos and the trophy shots all being prepared, as tonight will go down in history as a very, very memorable night, not just for the Netherlands, but for Sanne Thijssen and for all of those connected to the Thijssen camp and to Conquidam. We stand by and await for the three riders to hopefully get their champagne. I believe it should be just a few moments away. And I imagine that Zanatelli and Kenny will probably go on to win this victory. I feel like Sanne Thijssen got off quite lightly there. Finally, Dara Kenny. Did she even get her bottle open? No, she didn't. Shame. The poor youngster has not got her bottle open. Still, there you go, Sanne Thijssen. She finally gets her bottle open and charges after Dara Kenny. That smile will take a very, very long time to come off the face of Sanne Thijssen. And she tries to get a little bit more out the bottle. Malon Zanatelli making very, very quick moves to get out of the way. Let's not forget that Zanatelli finishes second for the third time in his Lgct career. So frustrating for Zanatelli to fall short 3 times. But of course, coming second in an Lgct Grand Prix is no mean feat, and that of course should not be looked down upon. A superb rider is Malon Zanatelli, a superb combination with VDL Edgar. And what a performance from them. And unfortunately, just unable to get over the line, stopping the clock, I remind you, 39.91 seconds. What a performance. And we will look back to all of the moments here on GCTV in a couple moments' time. Let's go back to live pictures and look at the podium winners who go on to do their lap of honor.
Vemos a los tres, vamos por tanto ya con la vuelta de honor.
Well, Sanna's back in the irons. I think we have all three. It's lap of honor time to conclude today's Super Saturday of action, the Longines Global Champions Tour of Madrid. But don't forget, here tomorrow at Club de Campo, we have so much more sporting action, culminating in the Copa del Rey.
Es la vuelta de honor, es rápida hasta en las vueltas de honor. Fíjense cómo galopa de rápido la vencedora de la prueba y la ventaja que les está sacando a los segundos. Ahí está la ganadora, Sentaisen Conkidam. Y por detrás, compartiendo hasta en la vuelta de honor ese segundo puesto, ahí vemos a Dara Kenny y a Marlon Modolo Zonotelli.
You see it so rarely. We've seen it here twice.
Still so full of running, still so full of energy is Conquidam. And now Sanna Tayson, perhaps with a few moments that have passed since crossing the final fence, has now allowed the moment, has allowed the opportunity to sink in. And I would desperately love, take a look at the energy of Sanna Tayson soaking it in. Appreciation from the Madrid crowd, and you get the feeling, you get the impression that Sanna Tayson could do 5 laps of honor as she continues to soak in the energy, soak in the audience, the crowd, the appreciation and the love. And we will come back and show you her winning round before the night is over. But for now, let's go through some of the star performances of tonight, of the jump-off. And let's not forget that despite Brian Mogre not going on to win tonight's Lgct Grand Prix, he's had a stellar weekend, making the jump-off, getting into that second round as well. And let's take you back then to that performance from Brian Mogre on MTM Viva la Rive, Live the Dream. And he certainly has been living the dream in recent days, Brian Mogre, stopping the clock at 41.64. But a fault going down, coming home in 4, meant that despite taking the provisional lead away from Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, who on Bentley just before him came home in 8, I think everybody was relatively confident that a time of 41.64 and 4 faults was not going to be enough to help Brian Mogre over the line. But it has been a star performance from this young man, of course, performing very well in the GCL earlier this weekend, and now doing well in the Lgct Grand Prix, making it into the jump-off. And I'm pretty certain that he too will be incredibly satisfied with the performances that he's put in over this weekend. Yuri Mansour and Alphonse were the next pairing to come out of the gate. And again, despite beating the time of Brian Mogre, 41.50, in that infamous yellow jacket, a very early fault from Yuri Mansour meant that he too would not be able to get over the line and win the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Madrid. But still an experienced rider. Great to see him and Alphonse performing at this level. Eventually going on to stop the clock, as we said, at 41.50 to take the provisional lead. But with a handful of riders, including Dara Kenny, Marlon Zonotelli and Katrien Ackermann still to come, let alone our winner, Sanna Tayson. Again, much like Brian Mogre, the belief was that at 41.50 and 4 faults, Yuri Mansour was not going to be able to get over the line and win that race based on that performance. But then we had 2 incredibly strange scenarios. Firstly, with Dara Kenny on Cartello, going on to better the time set by Yuri Mansour, and of course going faster than Fernando Martinez Soma as well on Corbaca, who eventually stopped the clock at 43.76 did FMS. Dara Kenny and this well-known pairing of Cartello came out the gate showing real intent and eventually stopping the clock at what would be the provisional lead at 39.91. Faster at the split, heading into this final line, being able to then stop the clock within the next 9 seconds, tight on the rollback into the final fence and getting over at 39.91, taking the lead. And take a look at that heavy touch. Sometimes luck is with you. Sometimes luck is with you. But what followed after Dara Kenny was something quite outrageous, that of Malon Zonatelli, who came out later on as well in VDL Edgar, and he too stopped the clock at exactly the same time at 39.91. And the two men at the time shared the provisional lead. And the questions being asked behind the scenes were, who was then going to go to Prague? Would there then be a tiebreaker? Would both men be sharing the golden ticket? And up until the final moment, it was indeed going to be taken away from both of them by Sanne Thijssen. A golden ticket will not be shared. It will not be held between Derek Kenny and Malon Zonatelli. In fact, Malon Zonatelli, I believe, is standing by alongside Frederik de Backer to get his thoughts to the end of one of the most outrageous LGCT Grand Prix that I certainly have witnessed, Frederik. Let's talk to Malon Zonatelli, third time, second in his career, if I'm not mistaken. How is he feeling? Let's find out from the Brazilian, please.
Thank you very much, Mark. Malon Zonatelli, congratulations. How do you feel after the outcome of this Grand Prix?
I'm very happy, very proud of my horse, my team, the horse owners who gave me the chance to keep him. I mean, I've been having a bit of a rough week last week, and this week hasn't been gone fantastic. Still, the horses are jumping well, and Edgar always makes us happy, so I think we are all proud.
When I saw you come out of the ring, we had a close-up of your face, because you say now that you're happy, but it didn't look super happy when you came out of the ring, when you were in joint first at that time with Derek Kenny.
Like you just saying before, many times I'm being second and third. In Saint-Tropez I was third with him also, and then you think you were faster, and you get surprised when you see the clock that you're exactly the same time. It was just back on my head, a little bit of a laugh, in a sense that, yeah, even to win it, you're maybe going to win it together with somebody.
Did you think you were faster?
I thought I was faster, yeah. That I did a very neat jump off. He had very sharp turns, and yeah, he was very neat to the double as well, but then he did 8 after the double, but he definitely got a better turn than me to the last. But I thought that was quick, like the number 3, took a risk there, and then I took my time to the blue oxer. I thought it was good to the double. I got the 7. Lost a bit of time, I think, on my row back, but still could keep the momentum, and I had a forward distance to the last. I thought that was just faster, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's our sport. It's fantastic at such a high level, and it was brilliant. And Senna to close in such a beautiful jump off. We all knew at the outside that she would normally be faster than us. So.
Talk to me about Sanne Thijssen. How do you rate her as a rider, as a combination with Conquidam? You've seen her grow up, you're in that same region as Sanne Thijssen. How do you look at Sanne Thijssen as a rider?
I've been annoyed with her right now, to be honest. It's the second Grand Prix, I'm second to her. She's also in Centaur 4-star, she was also winning and I was second. No, I'm joking. Sanne is an unbelievable rider, and if you see her relation with his horse is fantastic. They have such a close relation. She's before the class end walking, playing with him, getting him motivated. It's nice to watch such a close relationship, and like I said congrats to her, and she went, what a fantastic horse. I said it's a fantastic combination, not just the horse. He cannot do it that alone.
All right, those are beautiful words to Sanne Thijssen and to Conquidam. Third time, second place, Malon. We would have wanted you to win it, but it didn't work out. It worked out for Sanne Thijssen. But thank you very much for coming to talk to us, and congratulations on a great result.
Thanks, we're going to keep trying.
Taking it on the chin is Malon Zonatelli, and again giving huge praise to young Sanne Thijssen, and I think that she needs to realize as well where that comes from. The respect that apparently she is earning from these senior riders just shows you what they are seeing in Sanne Thijssen, what they are noticing and watching. That relationship between herself and Conquidam continue to build and continue to develop. They are turning into a really exciting pair, and I believe that Derek Kenny will be coming through to us in a few moments' time as well. In fact, I believe he is ready. And a very similar question once again, Frederik, 39.91. Has that ever happened to Derek Kenny in his career? How did he feel today?
Derek Kenny, did you lose the win? Did you win second place, or did you manage to stay away from third? What jump off is this?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Today there was nothing more I could do, you know. There was no chance I could be as fast as Sanne. She was amazing, and the horse was amazing. There was no way I could even compete with that. You know, I thought I did quite a good round for my horse. It felt like it was quick enough. Marlon obviously was going to be fast. It was really strange we ended up with the same time, but could be worse. I could be third again. So I'll take 2.5 seconds. You know?
I can imagine. Going into this jump off, you were literally in the middle of the field. Was Sanatese the one that you were fearing? Was it Sanotelli that you were fearing? How did you think? How did you feel when you came out of that ring with that time, 39.91 seconds? Did you think it was enough?
I knew it was going to be very hard. You know, I knew Marlon was very fast. Katrien Eckermann was obviously going to be very fast as well. Sanne was always going to be very fast. So, you know, the second half, the second group after me were always going to be really quick, and I just had to do what I could do and hope that it worked out, and today it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, it wasn't indeed. Sanotelli says it was the tight turns. Sanotelli thinks he was quicker over the ground, but your tight turns, you rode less meters than Sanotelli. He had the pace, you had the efficiency. That's how he analyzes the rivalry there.
Yeah, I think, you know, my horse, he's super scopy and super rideable. So I can do all the really short turns very easy. Marlon and Sanne could do 7 to the second last. I couldn't do that, you know. My horse doesn't have that kind of stride. So then I just had to do my plan and try to be a little bit shorter than everybody else, take a little bit more risk on the turns, and then keep him in my hand on the gallops.
Yeah. Second, you miss out on that golden ticket to Prague. You have to come back and try again.
Yeah. Okay, here I was third last year. I've been in the top 5 before, second now this year. I hope I have to come back next year, you know. Maybe it goes one better.
365 days.
Exactly.
Let's meet again right here at this spot for the winners interview.
Yeah.
Dara, congratulations. Super second place, joint second place with Marlon Sanotelli, leaving the win to Sanatese. But thank you for coming to talk to us. Back to you, Mark, in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frederick. Thank you, Dara. Well, it's all set. The Lgct Grand Prix winner of 2023, Dara Kenny, after finishing third in 2021, second in 2022. Well, he can only go one better, and he can only go on to win it next year. Again, Dara Kenny showing a lot of humility and a lot of respect to Marlon Sanotelli and to Sanatese as well, who we are very excited to hear from the 2022 Lgct Grand Prix winner of Madrid. And I wonder if now she has caught her breath. I wonder if this has settled in, if the dust has moved off and she had a moment to catch her breath and think about this. Let's hear from tonight's winner, Frederik de Backer. How on earth is that astounding young rider feeling right now?
Let's ask her. Sanatese, how is your heart rate? Is it still up or is it down already?
Now it's a bit down. Now it's a bit down.
You were first of all, congratulations. Tremendous win. You were extremely emotional in that winner's interview right there in the arena. Why?
Yeah, because actually when I was a bit younger, I started with Conquidam and everything went so easy. But I didn't realize how unbelievable good and unique this horse is. And then when you win this and you really realize it, the moment is even more special.
When did you realize it? How many seconds? Did you think already going to the last that you had it in your hand?
Yeah, actually I did, because I did the first line 7. I was actually, Jos was supporting me next to the side, Jos Lansing, chef de keep. And I was actually afraid to tell him that my plan was in the head to do 7 the first line. I thought he gonna say I'm crazy. But I saw the 7, I went for the 7, and then everything went quite smooth, and I got the 7 after the double. And after that I knew that I could stay a bit calm to the last one because my time was already quite good. Okay, when you finish, you never know, because sometimes it feels you go fast and you're not. But I had the feeling, and then you look at the screen, and then the time is there, and then it's unbelievable.
You look at the screen and you start screaming.
Yeah.
We've never seen you like this.
No, because I really want to win a global Grand Prix, and now I have the chance to ride it. And maybe next year, not anymore. Maybe in a few months, you never know, something happens to your horse or to yourself. And now I have the opportunity, and now I want to take this chance. And it's amazing when it happens.
You really took it.
I took it.
Sanotelli stood with us here in this interview, and he said you can't understand that partnership between Thijsse and her horse. Everybody's flat riding, and then there's Thijsse coming out with her stallion, hand walking him, playing with him. Tell us a bit more about that partnership. How long have you been a pair with this horse?
Yeah, I started with him when he was 7. I was
9 years ago.
Yeah, 14 or 15 years old. So we really, grow into the level together actually. And I know when he's feeling happy, then he gives everything in the ring. So I can flat work him as much as I want. But when he's losing the body and he feels happy, then he does his job in the ring. So why should I train so much and flat work him so much if he even doesn't need it? Yeah. So that's why I hand walk him and make him happy.
That's what Sanatelli says. All that she's doing is just keeping him happy, keeping him motivated, and there's this special spark between the two of you.
I think we have a really good connection. Also at home, I actually most of the time I go to the forest. He likes it also for his condition and everything. I think it's good. Of course I train to have his condition right and the shape right, but not more than he needs.
This is not your classical horse that you ride dressage and that you jump at home.
No,
it's a completely different plan.
No, I never jump him at home. Most of the time I go to the forest, sometimes flat working and training the muscles, but not too often.
Okay, Sanne, congratulations. This is a unique win. You are, by the way, the 3rd youngest Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix winner. That's also something very special. We have to update that statistic. Congratulations on this tremendous win. You are going to Prague. You're in that Super Grand Prix. Keep him happy, keep him healthy, keep him fit. We look forward to seeing you in Prague. But for the rest of the season, you've won this Grand Prix now. This also gives you 40 points on the championship. Is there a next stage for you? Where will we see you next?
Hamburg is my next one. If Quinquidam feels fit, I take him, but it's up to Connie.
Up to Connie.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to end this interview, Mark. It's up to Connie. If he feels fit, Sanne Thijssen is going. If he's happy, she's happy. If he's happy, he's the Grand Prix winner.
And based on Quinquidam's performances, I have no doubt that Sanne Thijssen will be happy for quite some time throughout the rest of the season. And I also imagine that you will see a huge influx of riders starting to train in the forest, because according to Sanne Thijssen, there is absolutely nothing else to do other than to just keep her and Connie happy. What an incredible girl, what an incredible rider, what an incredible relationship, and what an incredible horse, Quinquidam. The 3rd youngest winner ever in an Lgct Grand Prix title, Sanne Thijssen, going on to win today in Madrid. To remind you of what the overall standings look like, we will show that to you now, because Lgct still leads the overall championship standings. He may still be back in Riesenbach this weekend, and despite Katrien Akkerman making it into the jump-off, finishing in 4th place, she still is unable to overtake Lgct, but the deficit is now down to just a single point. Michael Duffy, who did not compete in today's Grand Prix, stays in 3rd on 92, and Gilles Thomas, who had a fault down in the final fence, if I recall, is in 4th place on 90 points. Dennis Lynch, already a golden ticket in hand, in 5th, ahead of Bart Bless, Peter de Vos and Christian Koekoek, your top 8. In the overall championship standings, Lgct is still the man to catch, but Katrien Akkerman is there, Michael Duffy is there, Gilles Thomas is there, and with performances like this from Sanne Thijssen and Quinquidam, why on earth can she not become a 2-time Lgct Grand Prix winner in 2022? What a season is lined up for us for the rest of this year. Stay with us on GCTV for so much more. We have so much more jumping to come your way as we look forward to a very busy summer throughout Europe here. Stay with us. We'll bring you the insider. We will bring you the Lgct Grand Prix analysis coming this week and look back on all the action of Madrid. Thank you for joining us here on GCTV. We'll chat soon. Good night.